So this swords represent the mental element, and when we have one sword, it represents the one thought, the one truth, the one clarity. It's victory. It's a crowned thing. If you think about Excalibur, it's the thing that can like cut through anything. It's got crisp, clear energy to it. So when Ace of Swords shows up for you, it means that you're having some clarity. You're having a revelation about something. You can see through something. You can see the triumph, the victory, the crowning victory is yours, and clarity is there for you. This card, Nine of Wands, I call it my cool hand Luke card. So it's usually the survivor card, the person who keeps getting knocked down and getting back up. And in the reverse position, what it usually tells me is don't be discouraged. At the beginning of the month, if you're feeling discouraged by something, especially regarding a relationship, like this guy's looking at this Three of Swords in reverse. Like, so if there was a breakup, or if you've been betrayed by something, or disappointment, sadness, that's all Three of Swords energy. You can see in the imagery of the card. It's like indecision. It's three-wheel energy. So it's betrayal, it's sadness, it's disappointment. You know, there's some way in which you may be feeling discouraged about that at the beginning of the month, like feeling like you were betrayed, or feeling like sad or disappointed. Don't get discouraged. You're a survivor. You can endure. You know, this is when Nine of Wands is in reverse. It's saying you may be doubting, or, you know, having resistance to your feelings of being able to be a survivor and endure something and carry on. Don't get discouraged regarding any sadness. You know, maybe there's some sort of loss. Usually this is regarding disappointment or betrayal, or you know, breakups. You can see it's hardness, sadness of the heart. So it's just saying, you know, don't let that keep you down, because you do have a new beginning here, Gemini. You've got two aces at the beginning of May. So there's a huge new beginning for you happening. This is insight, mental insight, new way of thinking, seeing the truth. And this is having, you know, passion, motivation, energy. This is when you think of the baton, Ace of Wands, it's got the image of the person out in front of the parade who's throwing the baton, or it's the runner of the race, like the person running with the baton. So it's like you've got energy. It's a new beginning, new spring, fresh, new, clean energy with both of these cards. And double ace, really, it like amplifies the new beginning energy. So there's something beginning for you at the beginning of May, Gemini, even though you may have to get over this, or not be discouraged by, is what I'll say, this disappointment, this hurt, what you maybe feel betrayed. So just focus on your new beginning. That's what's in the upright position. That is what's supporting you. These are both in the reverse position. So there may just be some remnants of feeling like you got knocked down, got the wind knocked out of you, is what I'm getting from these. Don't let that stop you from your new beginning. You've got a lot of momentum. The universe is supporting you and handing you this motivation, passion, fire, energy, and this clarity of purpose, revelation, truth, victory, triumph. So go for it. In the middle of the month, you have some challenging things. There's some things in shadow, or there might be some things that you're resisting. You may, even if you start off with this new beginning, which you have a lot of energy for, you may have some resistance to get through. And I'm looking at it in terms of not being integrated. You may have two different sides of you that are kind of at odds with one another. The reason I'm saying that is because you have both the sun and the moon here, and both in reverse. And you can see in both of these cards, they're images of trying to integrate duality. In the moon card, we have the two towers. We have the different sides of the psyche, which is the dog and the wolf, One of them represents, the wolf represents the wild side of us, the untamed psyche, our subconscious, and the dog represents the domesticated part of ourselves, the part that's obedient, the part that does what it's told, the part that is more reasonable. But we really need both sides. And what this lobster or crab coming up from the depths of the water is acknowledgement of your subconscious feelings. Water always represents emotion. And in this case with, the scorpion or crab, it's either Scorpio or Cancer. Both of those are underwater dwellers. So they live in the subconscious world. They live in that emotional world. And when they're coming up for air, it's coming up by the gentle light of the moon for exposure. So this is making peace with your dark side. This is letting those deep subconscious feelings come up in order to integrate them into a whole self. And maybe you need to do that in a gentle way before you can show it forth to the light of day. This is when you are able to, this is testing out and trying out integration, testing what is real, testing what is illusion, what's the real part of me, what's not the real part of me. And then the sun is when you shine it forth, and when you have integrated both sides of yourself with male and female sides. These are like twins, fraternal twins that are looking at each other. And, it's when both sides of your personality are integrated, and then therefore everything shines forth. So you just see sunflowers, we see this Leo sun, we see radiance, we see vitality. It's when you're actually owning your own light, because this moon is just a reflection of the sun's light. It's not real. That's where the sense of illusion comes in. What's real, what's not. Getting to that point of the sun, like, yes, this is real. This is the real me. This is this is my authentic self. So I'm going to say, in the middle of the month, Gemini, you might have some challenges with being and radiating your authentic self. You are going to have to let whatever's coming up from that deep place of emotion with this crab, this scorpion coming up from the deep waters. You might have it come up, whether you like it or not, coming up for air. And it may be related to some disappointment, some heartbreak, some betrayal, something that you're sad about. And that is what is preventing you. That is what you need to go through in order to get to this place of the world. World is when you feel free, when you feel, naked, radiant, vulnerable, but yet powerful. It's whenever you're able to be your real self and everything lines up around you, and you experience this wreath of laurels that is like, again, victory. There's a real sense in May for you, Gemini, about victory and authenticity and truth. I'm going to say are some of your real themes here for May. And one of the things that I'm going to say about the World card is it's positive, regardless of whether it's in the upright or reverse position. It's strength, it's freedom, it's like all things unlocking. These four symbols on the sides of the card represent the four directions. Taurus, the bull, represents the earthly plane and physical. The lion represents the heart and fire and Leo. This person represents Aquarius and mental element and rationality. And then the eagle represents Scorpio, which is your emotions, transformative things. And so it represents the four directions of the zodiac. It's like when the whole world is complete, when you see things clearly and truly as they are. And this recognition of the truth, authenticity, I'll say, allows you to freedom. So what is it that is Is there some sort of acknowledgement of what is sad or betrayal, disappointment that doesn't seem real, or that you're not acknowledging your feelings about, that is resisting, dampening your connection to being your authentic self, to being free, to being complete, feeling like the world is supporting you? That's a question for you in May, Gemini. And I'm going to say it might come from a real deep place. This card is the card of change. This is Wheel of Fortune. And when this card is happening, it means the wheel of time is changing. Seasons are changing. Tables are turning. Experience is happening. Whatever's up is going to be down. Whatever's down is going to be up. It's just the time, the hand of change or of fate turning that wheel. So this is saying change is happening. My question to you is, are you resistant to that change? There could be two interpretations for wheel in the reverse position, is either that you're resisting change, or that things are not happening as quickly as you would like, that the tables are turning, the wheels are turning, but not in the way that you would like them to, or not as quickly as you would like them to. Either that, or there's some resistance, doubt, fear of change. I kind of am seeing it as maybe the latter, because you've got this ace. It could actually be either one. You've got this ace, this new beginning that has a lot of power behind it. And so this is either saying you're afraid of that new beginning, or it's not happening fast enough. That's how I interpret wheel in reverse. But either way, sun and moon, it could be also about relationship here, being authentic, both with yourself and in relationship, because sun and moon have an inherent relationship. And you can't actually show up in the relationship until you're being real with who you are. I mean, it's very trite to say, but that's kind of what the message is going on in here. And with Two of Cups energy, I'm going to get to that in a minute, that echoes that too. Are you being authentic and vulnerable in showing up in your relationship? But first, it has to start with you. So I'm going to say you need to allow these emotional feelings. Geminis aren't necessarily always the most emotional creatures. You're an air sign, so you're more mental in your approach to things. Doesn't mean that you're not emotional. It just means that usually your dominant trait is the air sign, your mind. So this is going to force you to confront things that you might just want to keep underwater. This crab, this scorpion is coming up for air, and it's a test of what's real, what's true, what you're going to keep. Where's the center? Where's the balance? And how can you integrate two different sides of yourself? So sun and moon, interesting energy. And it might require some soul searching. Gemini, this is Hermit in the reverse position. So Hermit is really after the truth, and that's a theme for you, for me. Ace of Swords is truth. And it's also victory and clarity. So Hermit is always looking for the truth. That's what this star represents. And so he's willing to separate himself, go up into the mountains, and really commit to stripping away anything of the world, any trappings, any media. I see this as maybe shutting down your phone, shutting down your computer, any noise from the outside world, and really looking into what's the truth of the matter, what's the heart of the matter. With Hermit in the reverse position, it may mean that you have resistance to doing that, or it could mean that you think by doing that you're going to be lonely, you're going to be by yourself, you're going to be, all the low side of Hermit, which is feeling like, oh, I'm going to be disconnected, I'm going to be by myself. You might have a little bit of fear of looking within, Gemini, but I'm going to say it's worth doing. Get over the resistance, get over any doubts, because it's really what's showing up for you here. Sun, Moon, and Hermit are all saying, look at the truth. Look at what's real. Look at what's illusion. You're doing some assessment. You're doing some soul searching in the middle of the month. And it's good. Towards the end of the month, there's something regarding authentic communication of feelings. Knight of Cups is messenger of the heart. He wears his heart on his sleeve. And often this can be a water sign. So this could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Possibly, I'm not getting as much of a sense of this, but it could be that for some of you, there's a threesome involved, that there's a couple and there's somebody who wants this person or wants, the other person. So this could be three energy. Normally Two of Cups is couple, but there's this guy looking on who wants to share in whatever love is going on. But how I usually read Knight of Cups is that it's an authentic message from the heart. Cups represent emotion, and he's in messenger gear. He's wearing the winged helmet of Hermes or Mercury, who is the messenger god. So it's a message of the heart, wearing your heart on your sleeve, communicating a message about love or being vulnerable, being open. The reason that because it's in the reverse position, it's saying you may have some resistance to sharing what you really feel, especially in an intimate relationship. Two of Cups is a love affair. It's like an exchange of hearts, because cups represent heart and emotion, heart energy. They're giving cups to one another. You even see this in some marriage ceremonies where you drink from the other's cup. Or you entwine your arms, so that you're drinking sort of from the same cup, or some have a two-handled cup. That's what Two of Cups is all about. Sharing emotional energy, sharing hearts. And this is saying being open and being vulnerable, sharing what is on your heart, receiving a message of love or giving a message of love. In the reverse position, it's saying there may be fear, resistance, doubt, hesitancy, or even of looking at the truth in a relationship or in your present state regarding relationship. It may be that you want to share something with someone, but you don't feel like you can. You're resisting this Two of Cups energy. So I'm getting, mostly Gemini, it's funny, I'm getting be authentic in your relationships. Be authentic be courageous. That's what Knights are. They're courageous in your expressing of your emotional message. Wear your heart on your sleeve. And that, when you correct that energy, that's where this opens up. That's where you feel like the world is supporting you. You can be naked and be free. You can be vulnerable and be empowered. That is what all this authenticity is about. And then, a third ace. So really confirming a new beginning for you, Gemini. You've got 3 aces showing up in May. That's a new beginning, new chapter. The fact that the Ace of Coins is in reverse says, you might be doubting that money comes with this new beginning. You might not see the opportunity to create the new lifestyle, the new money, the new job. You might be having some fears or resistance towards that. Just try exploring that. See if you can envision receiving from the universe and walking through this portal into this new garden, this new world, this new lifestyle, this new Eden, really. When you feel free and empowered and emboldened by being vulnerable, being true, being authentic, commitment to the truth of who you are, communicating clearly and honestly, the fear of this new Eden might go away, or your willingness to receive it. You might not feel worthy of receiving this, or whatever resistance it is to receiving what the world wants to give you. It's coming with this new beginning. There's riches available to you with it. You just have to be authentic, and you have to be willing to receive. So, Gemini, 3 aces: Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Coins. Definitely new beginning in May for you. You might just have to let go of some old discouragement regarding your heart, sadness or betrayal or disappointment. Embrace this new chapter. Embrace this new passion, energy, motivation, clarity that you have for this new beginning. You might need to really do some deep soul searching, embracing that change and looking for the real truth of things. Integrate that, be authentic, communicate within your relationships in an authentic way. And then you may be accessing, once you get rid of that resistance or fear or misrepresentation, feel free and vulnerable and empowered, and, the world is at your feet. And that may enable you to receive all the riches that the world wants to hand you. So that's kind of a long one, but it's all in your mind, Gemini. There's a lot of blue cards here, the blue background, which represents the mental element. So, use this Ace of Swords clarity that you've got at the beginning of May and employ it.